once again, downtown LA, GMS Ancient of Days 02. And the topic of this one's going to be, behold, he cometh with clouds. Talking about our Lord Yahweh Shai coming back with his chariots. Before we begin, as always, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh.
Ba'ashem, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Right, double honors to the apostles of the great millstone, the men who taught us his truth. And salutations to the elect. Shalom to all you brothers that are pushing out this word in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh, sincerely. All right, and like I said, it's going to be a behold, he coming with clouds, man. All right, because the Lord, obviously, we're waiting for the Lord to come back, Yahweh Shai. And he's going to come back with clouds with his chariots, man. And what are those chariots? That's what these people ignorantly call UFOs, right? Unidentifiable flying objects. But we know they're not unidentified to us because we know what they are according to the scripture, They're chariots of the Lord. So whenever you read the scriptures of the chariots or the clouds, that's referring to a so-called UFO, man. All right?
Say real quick, the scriptures say that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh revealeth his secrets to the servants of prophets, man. These chariots, what the world calls so-called UFOs, was a mystery. People thought they was aliens, big-headed green men, But now in these last days, Most High raised up his prophets and revealed the secrets unto him, man.
I was about to say, because actually our people and even people from the other nations, they knew they were the chariots of the Lord. They knew, but within time, when Esau came into power, he started to demonize them and made it look like it was aliens, like you said, little green men and things like that. But at one point in time, people knew what they were. That's why you see chariots in old frescoes and paintings, because our people knew what they were, man. And people all over the world knew. They knew about the great deliverance of Egypt. They knew there was a chariot there. They knew that it was chariots destroying the Egyptians.
Right? And when you say that Esau came back to power, you say Esau came back to power after he went down, that he was going to deceive the whole world again, man.
Basically went on a demonization campaign.
That's what we're here to do, to break those strongholds through the spirit of power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh, going to the chariots and going into our Lord Yahweh Shai's return with the chariots, right? Because a chariot, the term chariot simply means a vehicle. Like our modern day chariots, you can say are cars, But back then, the chariot, you didn't have any cars, so you had like a horse or a mule or a donkey pull a little wagon, that was known as a chariot. So in the scripture it says chariots, because at that time that was their vehicles, the chariots. But the vehicles of the Heavenly Father are the so-called UFOs. All right, we can start, bro.
Revelation chapter 1. It's Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds.
Yeah, behold, he cometh with clouds. That he's Yahweh Shai, right? Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He's coming back in the so-called UFO.
It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him.
And who pierced the Lord? The Romans, man. Now, obviously, we live in a different time period, but there's such a thing as called reincarnation. Everybody's spirits are reincarnated into new bodies. So they which pierced him, the Edomites, they're going to see him, man. It says all people shall see him. Because a great example that you have that movie ID4, man. When the so-called UFOs coming in, everybody saw him, man. Not one person missed it. Everybody saw him.
It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen.
Yeah, everybody shall wail, meaning they're going to mourn, they're going to be terrorized, man. Because like the brother said, Esau has done such a great job at demonizing the chariots that people think that they're aliens, man. We got all these television shows on UFO trackers and UFO sightings, UFO mysteries revealed, all this bullshit. Which
Area 51.
Yeah, all they're doing is furthering Esau's agenda of the demonization of the chariots. All right, so people are going to be terrorized, man. They're going to wail and be, oh shit, our planet's being invaded. But at the same time, a lot of people are going to know, God damn, that's what those crazy ass guys on the streets were talking about, man. It was right,
Yes, sir.
God.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
Yeah, the powers of the heavens shall be shaken, man. Or so the sun shall not give her light, man. Because these chariots are gonna block out the sun, man. Because the Lord's gonna come back in the biggest chariot of them all. You know?
Like Ezra described it. He described it as the Lord engraved a mountain out, man. Like he carved out a.
You gotta grab it.
You
Yep.
know?
And you also got chariots that are different shapes and sizes, you know? Some are round, like a plate, or a frisbee. Right. Some are like a cigar shape, you know? Some can even, what's it called? Shape. Come,
Make a cloak.
Yeah, make a cloak, change colors, you know? You know, that's where they get all these movies from. Like, you have the Avengers, right? Their spaceship. Like, what's it called? It kind of looks like it blends in. Like, it looks like you can't see it no more. And all you see is the skies. You know, these chariots can do that.
Yeah, cloaks. They show you that on
Cloak, there you go.
Black Panther, man.
Okay, yeah. Black
And then they attach that to Jake. You see that? Esau knows, man.
Yeah, Esau knows.
Read it again. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
The powers of the heaven shall be shaken, man. Meaning these Edomites, man, they're the powers of this world right now. They're going to be shaken because they know. That's why they also have what you call this Star Wars program that they established in the 1970s, I believe, where they put arms and all types of laser beams, just pretty much missiles pointing out to the space, you know? Because and you have Ronald Reagan who also said he gave a speech and he said if there was an outside, roughly paraphrasing, he said if there was an outside force to invade, but not all nations gather together and fight against it. Which is exactly what they're going to do when the Lord returns. They have NATO. All these nations are going to fight against the Lord, man.
They say,
He's going to destroy them all, man.
They say NASA's like what, the 5th branch?
Yeah, they made the new 5th branch of the military, which was a space program, you know?
Space Force.
Yeah, Space Force. Come on. And you also had this article recently. I don't know the details, but now they changed up the UFO. When you report a UFO sighting, they changed it up now. They don't want you to report them anymore because there's been so many sightings as of late, you know. And that's the spirit. Me and this brother, we did a lesson last Sunday, and we saw about 4 chariots, man. 4 of
2
them.
red ones.
Yeah, two were red. You know, and everybody was started coming to us like, man, what are y'all looking at? Oh, shit. You know? Like, so people imagine in that day.
Yeah.
I mean, right, that was tiny. You know, the Spirit had to hit us for this brother to look up and we saw him. But imagine that day when they block out the sun, man. These people are going to be in terror.
Yeah, because right now they're at a distance.
Yeah.
You know, the Lord don't want to reveal it to everybody.
God.
But He's coming back. He's coming back.
God.
Not as a man. He's coming back with war.
Because just imagine that, you know, in that day, all hell's going to break loose, but at the same time, not in every place. You know, like it says in Matthew, as the days in the north, some shall be given in marriage, meaning it's not going to be hell in every city on the planet Earth. So just imagine that, you know, someone's going to be in the middle playing basketball. All of a sudden, it's going to get dark. They're going to turn. They're going to see chariots, man. What they know as UFOs.
They showed you down the Infinity Wars. Yep. Remember they was having that council with Doctor Strange and Iron Man, and he walked outside. It was nothing but chaos. Motherfuckers getting beamed to powder, I believe.
Nowhere, you know. And to you, it's just another ordinary day on your way to the office. But then all of a sudden, all these chariots come, man. And all these movies we're mentioning, they get all these ideas from the scriptures, man. Right? Just to make that clear, you know, we're not basing the scriptures off of movies, but the movies are based off of the scriptures.
It's verse 30, Matthew 24 and 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming.
Right, if He's coming back with love and handing out flowers, why are people mourning? You know?
It's going to be a terrible sight, man. Because they also going to be destroyed. Like Independence Day, or you had that day, the movie War of the Worlds, when the chariots were coming, it was destroying people, man. And that's exactly what's going to happen.
And they say he coming with a sword, you know.
He came not to send peace, but a sword.
He came not to send peace, but a sword. But it says,
it's going to be like that last Game of Thrones episode, man. But instead of a dragon, it's going to be a chariot, man. Just lighting this place up. leveling this place. He's gonna level it.
The Lord said he the Lord said he come to send fire upon the earth. And what will I
grab it? That's Luke, what, 12? We got to grab these scriptures, man. And they're going to find out how the Lord look. So that's frightening in itself. If you're an Edomite or if you're an unbelieving Jake.
It says, verse 31 in Matthew 24, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet.
You got to read that one again before that, all right?
God. Verse 30 again, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
And the clouds of heaven with power, man. All right, so these clouds we see here, you know, it's not talking about a cloud, a nimbus. It's not going to be flying on a cloud like Dragon Ball Z style. You know?
Super Mario.
Yeah, Super Mario. No, this is with power, man. These clouds here, they just, they have water in them, right? That's
hey,
it.
That Dragon Ball Z, really, they don't have to understand it, but really, that's what they trying to mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but because they come in clouds, right? But really, they don't know it's talking about chariots.
Can you get that in Psalm?
Just like when you watch that movie, The Prince of Egypt, they have an actual pillar of fire come down. Nah, it's talking about a chariot.
Hey, and mentioning Dragon Ball Z, a lot of times if you see Goku, he'll have the halo around his head. You know, and often halos are associated with angels, man.
You know? He was an angelic being. He had power. So it said the Lord, when the Son of Man is revealed with his clouds, meaning his chariots, so-called UFOs, the angels are going to be with them. That's going to be a terror, man. It ain't just going to be like a disorganized. They're going to come in a V-shaped formation. If a brother can find that, this is as a clouds in the air.
They're going to come war ready, man.
War ready. You know, like when people go into war, they don't just all rush the battlefield, all disorganized.
It's calculated.
Man. Every move is calculated, and everybody's in line, man. There's ranks. They're in rank. You know, they move in rank. You know, so the Lord, Exodus 15:3 said, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord, Yahweh is his name. So he's a man of war. He's coming with the ultimate military tactics, man.
Gotcha.
You know, or not military, but ultimate warlike tactics, ultimate warrior tactics, man.
This is Psalms chapter 68, verse 17. It says, the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place.
All right, so thousands, there's going to be thousands of them, man, coming. So obviously, like he read it, was it Matthew 24? It said, the Son of Man shall be revealed with power and wit. So it's going to be Yahweh Shai and his chariot, and then all the angels next to them in their chariots, man. They're going to have power, man. So when you get that power, it's talking about that concentrated fire that they're coming with, man. You know?
Get that Isaiah 47:3.
This is Psalms 104:3. I read from 2. Who covereth thyself with light as with a garment, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot.
Yeah, who maketh the clouds his chariots, man. So again, that's not talking about a physical cloud like a flying nimbus. It says who maketh the cloud his chariots. We said earlier, the chariots are a vehicle. So his vehicles are these so-called UFOs, man. And a lot of times too, the chariots are actually hide behind an actual cloud, man.
Hey, Exodus. The Lord said he came a pillar of fire by night.
That's
and a cloud by day.
Exodus 13, the last couple verses. We got to get these scriptures. And also, what is Yahweh Shai coming to do?
Coming to save and destroy. So yeah, pretty much the ships, man. That's gonna be our ticket out of here. That's how we're gonna receive salvation, and it's really gonna be the only safe place, man. All right. And the reason the Lord's doing that is so not someone that's not meant to receive salvation can escape their judgment. You know, the only way out is if these chariots actually beam you up. You know?
Right, because like the apostle had brought out a few weeks ago, only the chariots could take that heat from the nukes, you know? Because they gotta come a little lower to beam us up, you know? And deliver us out of here. Only something that's not of this world could do that.
Isaiah chapter 26, verse 20.
There you go.
Come, my people, enter thou into thy chamber.
Yeah, the chamber is talking about the chariots, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
and shut thy doors about thee.
Yeah, shut thy doors about thee. You know, just like when Noah had his ark, and the Lord shut the door so nobody else could come in. So them chariots, man, as soon as the door's gonna open for them to beam us up, and once we're in there, they're gonna shut, just like the ark.
It says, hide thyself as it were for a little moment.
Yeah, hide thyself as it were for a little moment. Because it says, what's the same Revelation that a great city shall fall within 1 hour? You know, so America's going to be totally nuked and within an hour, man. So it's going to be for a little moment that we're in those chariots, man. And so much is going to be happening. Time's going to go by quick.
That's that. We gotta read that Psalms 91.
Finish this real quick. It says, hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed.
Yeah, once everything, all the nukes are done, once the indignation be overpassed, man, once the destruction is done. But this place is still going to be burning. But once there's no more missiles being shot out, you know, that's what it's referring to.
Yeah, and then we're gonna be that New Jerusalem, you know, coming down.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to be that New Jerusalem coming down. It's the people before it's a place, man. All right, so it's not going to be an actual city coming down like Asgard and shit, right? Or a city floating in the universe.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Because like it says in Maccabees, it's a people before it's a place. And they even mentioned that in that Thor. What was that? That Thor, Ragnarok. He said, you know, because the city in that movie Thor, Ragnarok, their city Asgard got completely destroyed. And Thor's father told him, you know, it was never about the city. The city doesn't mean nothing. It's the people. The people make the city. You know, and that's exactly how we're going to be, because we're going to be that governing body, that New Jerusalem coming down, man, from the chariots to establish the kingdom here on earth with Yahushua.
With our new bodies.
Yeah, with our new bodies, our celestial bodies, man.
Woo!
Superman bodies, man.
And it's good to say, we're going to be changed as a twinkling of an eye.
That's what, Thessalonians?
Yeah.
I got a precept going into...
Or Corinthians 15.
I got a precept going into us being saved in the chariots real quick. It's Revelation chapter 15, verse 1. And I'll start at 2. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire. That's talking about America burning, man.
From an aerial view.
From an aerial view from outside the Shemayim, from outside space, man, looking down at earth. It says, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image.
What's the beast?
The beast is NATO in the EU, man.
Yep.
That's the power structure of the Edomites, man. The red Hebrew Edomites, man.
Because those are the ones that are going to fight against the Lord. Like you read in Revelation 12 about the war in heaven. You know, I was talking about NATO, when it says Satan and his angels.
We got to grab it.
You know, because, I'm going to
I'll finish this. It says, and over his image and over his mark, the mark of the beast, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. Now that's not talking about we literally, the elect that gets beamed up is going to be literally standing on a sea of glass. That don't make no sense, man. That's symbolic of us being beamed up into the chariots, man, and we're going to be looking down at the earth, which is going to look like a sea of glass, like the Shemayim. When you go outside the atmosphere, it's like a clear layer over the earth, man. That's us standing on the sea of glass, meaning we're going to be above the sea of glass looking down.
Also, too,
above the earth.
Because the chariots are going to have windows, man. Right. You know, not to say that the windows are going to be made out of glass, because it's not going to be an earthly vehicle. But, you know, they have windows, too.
Psalms 91.
Yeah.
Psalms 91, I'm read from the top. Psalms 91 and 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High.
We went through that last week. The secret place being these scriptures, man.
It's knowledge, yeah.
Shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge, my fortress, my power, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler.
The snare of the fowler is talking about Esau, the so-called white man. Because a fowler is someone who sets traps, man. And that's what America is. It's nothing but a bunch of traps to set up our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man.
Going into those missiles too. Those missiles are.
Well, that's the next line.
And from the noisome pestilence.
Yeah, so that's one of his snares, man. The noisome pestilence is the ICBM missiles, man. Because they make a loud ass noise too. If you can if you see like a jet take off, you know, it's all loud. It's the same thing with the missile, man. And it's gonna make a lot of noise when shit starts being leveled down to the ground, man. Turning into powder.
Mm-hmm. Scripture speak about a destroying wind.
Yeah.
Great earthquake is gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's right. Volcanoes erupting. All of this happening at the same time.
Go ahead.
He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings thou shalt trust.
Right.
What's that talking
cover
about?
thee with his feathers. It's talking about the chariots, man. So-called UFOs, man. That's how he's gonna cover us, you know. The Lord doesn't physically have wings, and everyone's gonna be under his like bird-like wings.
Yeah.
You know, that's talking about his chariots, man.
Yeah.
You got that wrong, Psalms? That's 68 and 13.
This is Psalms chapter 68, verse 13. It says, though ye have lion among the pots, yet shall ye be as wings of a dove covered with silver.
Yeah. You see wings as a dove covered with silver, man, because these chariots are shiny as hell. So those are the wings and the feathers. That's the precept to that's referring to, right? And so that proves that those are the chariots.
There's some more to that or no?
A little bit. It says, shall ye be as the wings of a dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold.
Yep, feathers with yellow gold, man, because you got, like I said, all types of colorful chariots, man. We saw red ones the other day.
I saw an emerald one the other day.
Emerald, you know. You got gold, silver. You know, they probably change colors just like they change shapes.
I seen a blackish grayish one a week before that.
He shall cover thee, Psalm 91 and 4. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings thou shalt trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day.
Yeah, the arrow that flies by day is talking about the missiles, man. You know, so we're not gonna be afraid of the terror by night. All these pestilences, all these diseases, martial law troops, it's all hell breaking loose, man. Or the arrow that flies by day, man. That's not gonna phase us. We're not gonna fear that. We're gonna be ultimately under his feathers in those chariots.
We got them angels encamped about us.
Yeah, angels. Yeah, the scriptures say that where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there am I in the midst of them. So the Lord has his angels watching over us, man. There's chariots in the sky right now we can't even see. You know, hey, back was it Elijah when he said
Elisha.
when they who was it that came out?
You gotta grab it. His servant. Elisha's servant.
Yeah, Elisha's servant said, aren't they more than us? And he said, nah, we're more than them. But he couldn't see all the chariots, all the angels that were around him. You know?
He prayed to the Lord, asked him to open his eyes.
Yeah, and then he saw it.
This is 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 13. And he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host. And they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, and the host compassed the city both with horses and chariots.
So the whole city was surrounded, man, by the opposition.
It says, and the servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, fear not.
Yeah, like, what are we gonna do, man? What's going on? Yeah.
Surrounded, that's the end, you know? They're like, damn, they're going to starve us in, you know, until we give in, you know?
See, but Elisha was there when Elijah got beamed up. And he got a double portion of his spirit.
Yeah.
So yeah, mighty faith.
He says, alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
So they that be with us are more than be with them, man.
You gotta keep reading.
Like we read earlier, it said that the Lord shall be revealed with thousands of his angels, man. So thousands. And when Yahweh Shai was when he was under Pontius Pilate, what he tell him? I have the power to send out legions of angels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're way more than them, man.
Yeah.
We meaning the angels as well. All these angelic forces around us.
Scripture said, if the Lord be with us, who could be against us?
Yeah, if the Lord be with us, who can be against us, man? We got celestial powers, man.
The Lord gonna make.
Not from this world. Man.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
The Lord gonna make Esau look like a fucking little boy, man.
Yeah.
The little boy that he is.
And when King David numbered the people, what the Lord did, he sent an angel down with the sword, man, and he started
And the time of the Maccabees, yeah, angels coming down whooping ass.
And the Maccabees, at that time, we were a lot less than the Romans, than the Edomites.
I got something real quick.
You gotta keep going back on that one, Ock.
Back in 2 Kings 6 and 16, and he answered, "Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them." And Elisha prayed and said, "Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see." And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
So that was carried all around the whole time, man. The whole time.
See, Esau, you want to make a movie? Make a movie about that.
Yeah.
Fucking
exactly.
faggot.
That's like if the Lord opened our eyes right now where we can see, and there's angels all around us, we'd be like, oh, shit. Like, damn. So it was, it was real,
You'll really be like
Comforting.
I ain't got nothing to trip over.
yeah, like, damn. We got angelic forces on our side,
Hey, things written aforetime were written for our learning.
Yeah.
What you had, Ock? Nehemiah? What you have?
Something in Psalms going into basically salvation, how the Lord would save King David. A lot of times when King David was compassed about with armies, the Most High would send a chariot down,
Woo!
beam him up, and take him to somewhere else.
Yeah.
When he was, he said, King David said that. That's a beautiful point, right?
Yep. I'll read it real quick. I'll read it fast. Psalms 18, and I'll start at 4. It says, "The sorrows of death compass me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compass me
Hey,
about."
the scripture say Esau gonna come like a flood, man. You know?
Revelation refers to Revelation 12 when it talks about the flood that came and took the woman. Talking about the armies, man.
Yeah.
The armies.
It says, "The sorrows of hell compassed me about, the snares of death prevented me. In my distress, I called upon Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, and cried unto my power.
And the name of the Lord is a strong tower.
Yeah. He heard my voice out of his temple. The prayer of the Lord pierces the clouds.
Woo.
The prayer
Of the humble.
pierces the clouds. It says, he heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills moved and were shaken, because he was wroth. There went up the smoke out of his nostrils, and a fire out of his mouth devoured.
It's talking about the laser beams coming out the chariots, man.
Yep. It says coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub and did fly.
Chariot, man. That's another word. That's talking about the so-called UFO, man. A chariot, man.
Ships.
Chariots of the Lord, a ship, man. And you gotta imagine the scenes, man. Because back then, man, it was hand-to-hand combat. You get tired. You fight somebody, you get tired. You're winded, man. He's fighting, and he said, "Dogs have compassed me about." He was surrounded by all these other nations, man. So he thought he was gonna die. He called on the name, and then the Lord, a chariot just showed up, man. Which really was probably there the whole time, but it made itself visible, and it saved him, man. That's why nobody was fucking with King Solomon, man. Because all these other nations that fought against King David, they saw the power of the Lord, man.
They were subjugated by then.
Yeah, exactly. What I'm saying, my point was they saw the power that King David had, man. He had Yahweh on his side, man. So they knew they were subjugated because they knew they couldn't fight against that.
That's why after we got miraculously delivered out of Egypt, them Hamites came with deception. Try to make it seem like they were on a long journey. Because they didn't want no smoke, man.
It says, verse 11, he made darkness his secret place, his pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire. The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave his voice, hailstones and coals of fire.
Yeah, let's get that account with Elijah. I mean, we ain't gotta get it right now. I'm just saying, that's a good one. Acts the 1st chapter, Luke 24. You dropped something out.
This is Acts chapter 1, verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
Let's show you it's all about Israel, man. You know, they weren't concerned with these fucking heathens. You know?
It says, and he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons, which the Father hath put in his own power.
Yeah, because the Lord dealing with faith. You know, if the Lord was set to have the set time, you know, that's not how the Lord works.
No man knows the set time, only Yahweh himself.
Just like with in the time of Moses, it's a process, man. You know, you'll find out when you find out. Yeah.
Verse 8, it says, but ye shall receive power.
And you don't want to spoil the movie, you know.
Yeah, because if you do, everybody get right. Oh, damn, it's a month. Lord coming in a month. Now I'm going to be on fire on the streets, man. I'm tearing this shit down. You know? Nah, man, the Lord ain't looking for it.
It says, but ye shall receive power. After that, the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me, both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria, and unto the othermost part of the earth. It says, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight.
Dang, so once the Lord was telling them they were going to receive the spiritual power, man, a chariot came and they beamed him up, man. They beamed up our Lord Yahweh and they took him back. Because he was with us for a time, man. After he was crucified and resurrected, he was with us. He was teaching the disciples, you know?
It says, and when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold.
Now, if we were to apply the logic, if we were to take it for the surface, you know, that don't even make sense. The cloud came out of nowhere and just, okay, then what? You know what I mean? That don't even make sense.
It says, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel.
That's two angels, right? The two angels were all white, you know, purity, saying purity. Go ahead.
It says, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven?
Yeah.
This same Yahushua.
And the chariots are how you gazing up in heaven.
Exactly.
When you see
For
ships.
them, it's like, what you looking at? You know, like this is normal for them, you know?
Yeah.
It's like if someone's looking at you, like in your car, like, is that a car? What the fuck? Never seen a car, bro? Like these angels, like, what are you looking at, man?
What's the big deal?
Yeah.
But really, the Lord is dramatic.
God.
So that's how, you know.
Hey, even when the Lord, I believe, was getting baptized by John.
Yeah, get it.
Chariot came over.
Yep.
He said, this is my beloved son, in whom I'm well pleased. Man. He described it as what, a dove though, right?
Yeah, it says, I think it mentions a cloud. Ascending like a dove.
Yeah, it says, and while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven.
Right, so behold, he coming with clouds, right? So the same way he was taken up, the last time he was here, you know, it wasn't the last time, but you know, when he was here, how everybody witnessed him being taken up, everyone's gonna witness him coming back, man, in a chariot, in a so-called UFO, man.
We gotta get that white horse.
God.
Revelation 6, Revelation 19.
This is St. John chapter 1, verse 50. Yahushua answered and said unto him, because I said unto thee, I saw thee under the fig tree, believest thou? Thou shalt see greater things than these. He said unto him, verily, verily, I say unto you, hereafter you shall see heaven open, and the angels of the Most High ascending and descending upon the Son of Man.
Hey, what did that nigga Sonetta say? You really believe he gonna crack them clouds? You really believe
Skies.
the Son of Man's gonna crack them clouds? Yeah, that's what Yahushua's coming to do, man. He's second edge is how it's going to be one realm against another. You know,
That's Satan, Doc. It's cool. It's
Satan,
cool.
man. That's Satan like a motherfucker, man.
What is it? Yeah, Molly virus.
Yeah, one realm against another, man. Satan trying to knock
You gotta watch out. Huh? You got that fucking the pestilence going. You got quarantine, Doc.
That's why the Lord even came back, though, man. That's all it is.
man. What the fuck? That's Satan, man. Anyway, like I said, man, it's gonna be one realm against another, man. So your house is gonna be coming from the spiritual realm into this realm.
That's right.
The fourth dimension into the third dimension, man. You know?
Like you said earlier, it's just like that movie Infinity War.
Yeah.
You know, when Thanos' ship just came out of nowhere, you know? That's what the Lord's going to do, man. He's on a different dimension, coming to this earthly dimension, you know?
And then they bugged out in that bus. Spider-Man got his spidey senses. And he told his friend, he said, hey, distract the people. He said, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
It was true. You had that moment of just, it's over.
That's all the tribes of the earth mourning
Yeah.
and because
Yeah.
you know, we're all going to die, yeah. What else? What other thing would run in your mind, man? You know? That's the outside force coming to fuck shit up. Really.
Hey, but not the men that are waiting for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Scripture speak about us loving his appearing.
Yeah, that's why the scriptures don't say, for what day, what is it to you, the day of the Lord? You know? Meaning to these other people, what day is it to them? Cause
That's
really,
right.
The Lord's coming to destroy, man.
Amos 5.
Yeah, for us, you know, we're longing for that day. You know, we're praying for that day to come quickly, man, to hasten.
Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1.
Right.
Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes, and looked, and behold, a flying robe.
A chariot, or if you want to say a so-called a saucer,
Yeah,
flying saucer.
Yeah.
Where it ain't talking about no flying dinner roll, nothing like that, man. You know? You can also acquaint it to, because back then it was like when we had the scrolls, when we used to write the scriptures down, we used to roll them up.
Yeah.
So Zechariah was saying, I see a flying roll, you know?
It was a cigar-shaped chariot, man.
Exactly.
You know? And you can find paintings of cigar-shaped chariots, man. People see them, especially over in Central and South America. You have UFO sightings all the time, man.
Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying robe. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying robe. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then he said unto me, this is the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth.
Right, those ships are going to be a curse to this place because they're coming to destroy this place. All right, they're going to add to the fire or shit before the nukes. You know, they're going to bring fire and destruction. Okay?
And that's why I tell you, when we read in Matthew, it says the stars of heaven is going to be falling. And that's talking about the message. At the same time, Yahushua is here, the message is going to be getting shut off, man.
Yeah. Because the scriptures say that the Lamb is going to watch this place burn.
It says, verse 3, then said he unto me, this is the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it.
Who's the biggest thief, man? Who has stole the most? Is Esau, the so-called white man, man. He stole us physically, you know.
Our identification.
Our identity, you know. He's an identity thief. A theft
Continents.
of men, you know, a theft of land, theft of money, theft of everything, man. Everything he's stolen, man. So this so-called white man is the biggest thief on the planet Earth, man. He steals the most. So he came up with to cut off him that steals.
For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and everyone that swears shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. Because Esau right now is swearing by the scriptures, man. He don't live by the scriptures. He don't uplift none of the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. That's why the scriptures talk about how justice and judgment is lacking in the streets, man. You know? Because the word of the Lord is not going out, man. That's why you see homosexuals and faggots walking up and down the street, man. You know? That's why you see adultery on an all-time high, man. You know? That's why you see pedophilia on the uprise, man. Transgenders, man.
Oh, man.
Because judgment is not going out in the earth, man. The word of the Most High is not being uplifted, man, in the society, man. So he's swearing, the so-called white man calling himself a Christian, swearing by the scriptures, man. But lying his ass off, man. Deceiving the people. says, and everyone that swears shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, said Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. What's the house of the thief, man? That's talking about America, man.
Stolen land.
Exactly. This is the throne of the so-called white man, man. It's who used to dwell here, man. Like you just said, stolen land. Gad used to dwell here, man. You know, and the so-called white man came up with his, you know, the Puritans and the so-called pilgrims, man.
And not just Gad, but I want to say all 9 tribes. Well, I say 10 tribes, because Levi was amongst us too. Because he didn't just. Because right now it's known as the United States of America, but really Esau runs the whole continent, man. So you got all Northern Kingdom from all the way from Argentina, Uruguay, all the way to up here, man. So it was all the tribes, man. Because Esau runs all those lands too. They're not run by the indigenous Israelites, you know. They're run by Esau, man. You know.
It says, I will bring it forth, said Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. He's gonna bring forth them chariots, man. It says, and into the house of him that swears falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Talking about these chariots, they coming for salvation, but they also coming to destroy too, man.
I got a quick one. In Zechariah 6:1, just to show how you got different shapes and sizes of chariots. This is and I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, there came 4 chariots out from between 2 mountains, and the mountains were mountains of brass. You know, like you said earlier, talking about the mountains. So these chariots are the size of mountains, man. I said the mountains were mountains of brass, meaning there were chariots, but he mistook them for mountains because they were so enormous, man.
We gotta get that account with Esdras.
Yeah. Second Ezra.
Yeah, just to go into how the Lord, because people have a preconceived notion that the Lord is coming back to bring peace, and which He is, in a certain sense. But for the whole world, nah, that's not the case, man. The Lord is coming back to bring vengeance, man.
Well, there can be peace.
It's Isaiah 66:15. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
You know, that's how the Lord, this is the fashion and his attitude, man.
Which proves that the Old Testament is extremely relevant, man, because there's prophecies in there that hasn't came to pass, man. All right, that being one of them. All right, you got Isaiah 63rd chapter, Isaiah the 47th chapter. Okay, Jeremiah.
It says to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. So that's how the Lord is coming. The word rebuke means to correct. So that's how the Lord is coming to correct these people, man, to burn their asses up. Like I mentioned earlier in the other camp, the elect, they're not going to go through the physical fire. They're going to go through the spiritual fire. But as for the 2/3 and the heathens, they're going to actually feel that fire, man. And the scriptures say that the Lord is a consuming fire, man.
Mm-hmm.
So the Spirit of the Lord is going to be in these flames, man. It's going to feel like an eternity, man. You know? That you in this lake of fire that he's bringing, man.
Yeah, like I said, because the Lord ain't going to let you just allow you to have a quick, painless death, man. That's going to, the scripture said that...
Death by pain?
Death by pain, man. It's going to be painful.
Hey, bro. Hey, our hell that we catching right now is long suffering, man. We've been in, some brothers been in this, the apostles been in this thing for 30 years going through hell, man. You know? So what, the 2/3, they just gonna be in the fire for a couple seconds? Nah, man, the Lord gonna make them feel that fire, man.
Slowly melt.
And then you're gonna have to feel everything before that fire.
Like the turkey roasting in the oven. You know? Like you said, everything before that fire. You might have to see your wife get raped and killed in front of you, or you might see your children starve to death. You know, everything you've gone through up until that point, man. The fire is just the cherry on top of the ice cream, man.
This last verse. It says, for by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be, by Shem Yahushai, shall be many.
So with sword and with fire, the Lord plead with all flesh, man. You know, people always want to plead their case. No, you can't. Oh, he's going to plead, but with fire and sword, yeah?
Right now is a time of mercy.
Yeah.
That at that point, it's over, man.
That's right.
The Lord spoke.
Scriptures talk about, I think it's Ezra, those scourges for amendment, man. That ass whooping, man, for correction, right?
You want to break it down? This is 2nd Ezra 13 and 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof.
And when it just said,
God. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night.
This is a vision that just is talking about.
It says, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
That's talking about Yahushua, man. The thousands of heaven, not just 1,000. Brother just read, 20,000?
Even thousands.
Then thousands and thousands. It's gonna look like an innumerable army out here, man. Just chariots though.
Covering the skies.
You know, the movie 300 when the arrows blocked out the sun,
Right.
it's gonna be the same thing but with chariots, man. Like Scripture says, you know, once these people see that sight, like it says, their heart's failing them, man.
It says, verse 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice.
That's talking about lasers, man. The Lord's not gonna open his mouth and speak to the people himself.
And we just read, the Lord shall plead with all flesh with the sword of fire, right?
Fire, that's right, man. Lasers, man. That's what that's talking about. Concentrated fire. Showed you that on War of the World.
It says, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven.
This is talking about the world.
No, that's talking about the armies of the world,
Oh, Slakia.
the military.
Yeah, because Yahushua is going to start over there in the Middle East, man. During World War III, man. Following Jehoshaphat, man. Take care of their asses first, then come to Babylon, man.
Right. Yeah, it's coming from the east.
Yeah, because if I can say, you know, because that's where the armies are, right? Whenever you're going to destroy a city or sack a city, you destroy the armies first, and then you go to the spoils, you know? Then you go and you claim whatever woman you want, you know? You kill, you take your spoils, the booty, the money, okay?
Kill the army, then go claim the throne.
So and after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
And that goes into that quote you mentioned earlier about Ronald Reagan. You know, if everybody just band together, you know, if there was an invasion, we'll just come together and we'll fight against that. You know, put aside our differences. You know, and that's in the scriptures, man. These devils knew that, man. You know, they read the scriptures. That's what's literally gonna happen, man.
That's why they had that song program. That's why he made that speech.
And that's the time that we in, man.
Yep. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it.
And so, he called it a mountain, man. He used the best word he could use at that time, man. A mountain.
Yeah, because if you think about it, that's the biggest. That's really the biggest thing there is, a mountain. You know, what's bigger than a mountain? I think the highest point in all the world is what, Mount Everest? That's a mountain. You know, mountains are enormous. You know, and it's in the law that you can't build buildings over 3 stories. So you know, a mountain was the biggest thing there was.
I remember that dude that I used to work with you with. You said he's a liar. What's his name? Yeah, that dude told me like over there in the Middle East, the mountains are crazy big, way bigger than any mountain you can see over here, man.
Yeah, that's what they were. Yeah. What I would have seen.
I'm saying, just like when sometimes I use the 210 freeway out here in Cali. From one side of it to the other, that's where you have Southern Cali, man. From Pasadena over to Riverside, it's one big ass mountain. I remember Jordan Watazaki, he spoke on that, man. And it really does look like just one big, massive ass, you know?
Yeah, if you go anywhere hiking or anywhere up here, you see the mountains all the way as far as you can see, all the way to as far as you can see on east to west, man. All right, so it says, and after this I beheld, so it's like, verse 7. but I would have seen the region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not.
That's how big it was.
You couldn't see where it started, where it ended. Yep.
Hey,
Yeah.
horizon to horizon, left to right, you know.
Hey, just like if you go into like, I don't know, man, like a big ass warehouse, it seems like that motherfucker just goes just aisles and aisles on top of aisles, you know?
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
Like, because the Most High put spirit in them to keep fighting, man. Even though the fighting and, you know, so afraid, you know?
And you got Jake's in the military too.
Right, they still want to try to, you know, do little fighter jets and whatnot.
And that's only because the Lord said He made them thirst fight. He put that spirit in them, because if He wouldn't have, they would have surrendered, Game of Thrones status, right?
Probably commit suicide.
Like all the Lannisters, so that hey, they saw the dragon raining fire on everyone. Oh shit, fuck it, they surrendered. You know, the Lord don't want that, man. The Lord likes action. He's a man of war, so He's gonna make them thirst fight, man, so He can destroy their ass. And verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither
Come and meet you as a man, man. Men deal with swords and shields and all of that shit, man. Yahweh Shai is coming back as a celestial power, man. All right?
He came as a man already.
Yeah, exactly.
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Jesus, man. You know?
And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke.
Damn.
When I saw this, I was afraid, because they never seen nothing like it. So these, like in World of the Worlds, when they zapping people, there was dust. That's exactly what's gonna happen, man. Or like you had that Infinity War, they don't snap the string and everybody's turning to dust. Well, you're gonna see a big ass chariot. You ain't even gonna see where it ends or where it begins. And it's gonna zap all these people, man, turn them to dust.
And they gonna see Yahweh Shai too.
Yeah, you're gonna see Yahweh Shai too, a big black man, man.
That's scary in itself.
Yep. This is,
Cause you had men, you if we were to see an angel, you know, you'd be scared. How much more Yahweh Shai, man?
God. Yeah, that was in the middle. I didn't know something.
Yeah, what time is it? Let's wrap it up.
Expound upon the war. It's Revelation 12 and 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and it and his angels. And remember that the book of Revelation is filled with mystery, man. This ain't talking about Satan, right? Literal dragons and shit, or Satan is up in heaven fighting the Most High, man. Or Michael's fighting Satan and his angels. That ain't what it's talking about,
Yeah,
man.
because when you go, a common misconception, you go to a lot of Catholic churches, they have statues of the Archangel Michael looking like an Edomite with Satan, and like they're fighting, they're always fighting and shit, like they're arch enemies. Like, no, it's talking about, because Michael's the second in command under Yahweh Shai, man. It's going to be Yahweh Shai, Michael, and his angelic forces, the angels and the chariots, fighting against Satan, because the word Satan means adversary, the so-called white man, which is Esau according to the Bible. And his angels, talking about, you got all these jet fighter planes, you know, so those are his angels. Like you had that great movie, it was a good ass movie called Saving Private Ryan. You know, at the end when it looked like all was failing, they were about to die because the Germans were outnumbering them and they were pushing the Americans far back. All of a sudden you see the jet fighters come by and start bombing the Germans, man. And then you see Tom Hanks' character said he pretty much said something like the angels have arrived or something. So those are Esau's angels right there, man.
It says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragons fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven.
Your fall is already written, man. You ain't gonna win this, man.
And prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
That's Esau, man. Esau being in his final battle, you know, of whatever's left of his army. Because like we read in 2nd Ezra, the chariots is going to come and turn everybody to dust. So now he's got his angels, you know, he's got his aircrafts in the air. You know, that's plan B. Now they're launching their aircraft, trying to fight against the Lord. Nope, they're all going to be cast down, man. Right?
It says he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Right, so that's the end of Esau, man. So the point being that behold, he coming with clouds, man. So the Lord's coming with clouds, his chariots, so-called UFOs, to save the elect, and to destroy Esau, his armies, and ultimately destroy America and make us into that lake of fire that it's going to be. All right. So you know, that's all we had. You know, those were you brothers were edified, you know, on the topic of the Lord coming back.